Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I have got some goodies today. I recently got in contact with Beebeecraft because I had seen a bunch of other YouTubers that have collabed with them before, and I kind of wanted to see what they were all about and all that other good stuff. So they have a partner program with YouTube, and they offer free products in exchange for videos, like most of them do. But anyway, so I wanted to kind of see what they were all about, so I chose a few items to use. Now, I've got the ABC mold, and this is not in reverse. I kind of want one that I can do normally, because I like to work with two-part epoxy. That's my preference. And then the little rectangular things, they are coaster molds, which I've never seen before. So I thought that was cool. And I've got these two little elephant guys that I am kind of contemplating doing something with in a later video, which I think will be super, super cool. And the little charms or little elephant charms that I found that I'm super excited about, I can add them onto my keychains and jewelry and all that good stuff. And then we have this. Now this comes with a bunch of different stuff. You get the pipettes, you get the little, I'm gonna call them finger condoms. I don't know what the proper name is. You get some Mylar flakes and a little plastic cups. And then you get a boatload of these. Now, I honestly, when I selected them, I thought they were a little bit smaller, like more, I guess, pendant sized maybe, but they're pretty big. So these are going to be more like, I think you can use them for like ornaments, like for your tree, or maybe backpack. You know how kids have all kinds of like keychain type things for your backpack. Think they'd be too big to put with your keys, because if you put your keys in your pocket, like, I don't think they would fit. All right, so now we got our second thing. Now, these are colored UV resins, and Teexpert was kind enough to send them to me. So we're going to play around with these a little bit. I've not used much in the way of a bunch of colored ones. I mean, I have used the glitter ones, and I have used the glow-in-the-dark ones, which were pretty cool. These are actually colors, so I'm kind of curious about that. Now, you get 10 bottles in this pack, and they are the 30 ml bottles, so they're not quite as big as the ones that you get in the other ones, but still fairly decent sized. Okay, on to the project. Now, I made two of my grandkids something, so I want to make this one for my oldest grandson, who is 5 and is going to kindergarten in a couple of weeks. So I thought that we're gonna play around and do something kind of cute for him, and then make one of these keychain holders into one for his backpack. I think it'll be pretty cool. Anyway, so the first thing that I'm gonna do is, I have this little oval board, and it's one that you can hang up. Now, initially, my idea was to make kind of like a wall hanging for him, but that kind of changed as I progressed a little bit farther in this project. And as I am kind of painting over this, now it's a really cool paint. It's by Folk Art, and it's called Dragon Glaze, and it's a color shifting acrylic paint, and I think it's just an absolutely stunning color. Like, I really like this green a lot, a lot. And I don't really feel like you get a lot of color change to it, but you do get, like, you can tell it's got something in it, because you do get like a shimmer to it. Either way, I think it's gorgeous, and it's kind of what I chose to use on this one. Now, have you ever had just one of those weeks? This week is that week for me. I have had nothing but issues with this video. Like, bad issues. Like, I can't tell you how many clips I thought I hit record and I paused it. And then when I went to shut it off, all I was recording was me cleaning up my mess. It happened quite a bit in this video. I'm not gonna lie, and it makes me so upset. Like I just want to cry. I was editing my video last night and I'm like, where's what I need? And it's gone. And I'm like, I don't believe it. So anyway, what I decided to do was I am going to spell out Timmy. And I want to do it in a couple different colors because I want to be able to see what these colors kind of look like and how they act. So I'm going in with kind of not a super thin layer, but not a super thick layer either. And this UV resin is like super, super thick. Like it is a very, very viscous resin to the point where like trying to move it to make sure I'm getting around all those problem areas where bubbles like to kind of cling on to was moving like lumps of it, which is good, don't get me wrong, but it's not. I just, if any of you decide to try it, it's not a low viscosity resin. Like it's really not going to move much on its own without you kind of moving it to where you want to go. Now, that being said, the colors are absolutely gorgeous. They are beautiful, beautiful colors. They are very opaque that you cannot see through this even with a super thin layer. You cannot see through these whatsoever. And it kind of makes you wonder how the UV light is transfer like getting through to cure it, because I mean, I know if I mix like mica powders in with it, you got to do it in super thin layers and all that stuff, and this stuff was curing like beautifully. 2 minutes under the light, bam, done. It's nice and hard and no issues, not sticky, not nothing that a lot of different UV resins I've tried leave, which is annoying. Anyway, so I put my first layer on. Now I want to alternate colors with the letters. Like I want to do it between green and blue and every other letter a different color, which is why I'm kind of doing it the way I'm doing it. Now my next layer, I am just using some clear ISTOYO UV resin, and I am adding a little bit of Let's Resin's alcohol inks in, mix it in the resin, and then just kind of swirling it through. Now this layer is a thin layer. It's not a lot because you only have so much space that you can, use. And this is where I didn't record. And what I did on the second layer, you'll get to see here in a minute. This is me demolding those two letters, and I know you missed it, but we're going to do the rest of his name, so thank God it's not a two-letter name. Otherwise, I'd really be screwed right now. Anyway, those two are done. I am going to top coat them one more time because the rocks and the glass glitter that I put in there are a little up higher than what the mold was. So I will kind of top coat that to smooth them out a little bit. Okay, now on for the why. Now I feel like as I'm looking at these colors, they are very pearlescent, like a mica. So I'm thinking that maybe that's what they used is some kind of a mica powder type deal. I don't know how you make UV resin, but that's what I'm thinking it is. So if that's the look that you're going for, this is something that you may want to kind of try because they are stunning, stunning colors. All right, so we got that done. Now we're going to do the same part, which is as far as you guys got to see, where I'm going to actually first do the M first, and then we'll see the next part. Now, I am also going to make a keychain for his backpack, and I just want to put on there his first name, his last name, and what grade he's in. Just because I know how kids are. I know how every one of my kids was. At some point, they're going to leave that backpack on a bus, on somewhere in the school, just somewhere. They're going to lose it because that's how kids like to do. So I figured this way he can connect it to maybe his zipper or something like that on the backpack or even on the inside of it. And, if he misplaces it somewhere, it'll have his information on there and they will be able to get it back. Okay. Now, when I am doing this, I am only curing it for 2 minutes each go underneath the Let's Resin dual UV light. And that is because I'm not necessarily worried about doing a full cure on it because we are doing multiple layers. Like, all in all, start to finish, it will have 4 layers of resin in there. So it's gonna get its time no matter what. But honestly, it's not taking that long anyway. Like 2 minutes and it's really, really solid. So that's a good thing. Okay, now we are at the part where I lost the footage. And I'm just doing the same thing with these ones. I'm putting them in there. Now, for the blue, I am going to use a slightly different color. I'm going to use aquamarine. I wanted to do green, so this way it's completely kind of opposite, like I've got the green with the blue and then do blue with the green. But I kind of didn't think it would really show up the way I wanted it to. So I kind of thought, all right, well, the aquamarine is a bluish green and it's a little bit darker. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right, on to the keychain. Now, for this, I just wanted to kind of play around, honestly, with the different colors of resin. So I decided that what I was going to do is I'm going to take several different colors. I went in with red. I went in with gold, which is kind of that yellowy looking orangish kind of color. I did orange. I did white, silver, and I think that's it. I think so. I think that's it. And then I'm just kind of plopping it down. Like, I really wanted to see A, the different colors, and B, kind of how they interact with each other. Now, I did notice that of all of the colors that I have tried, the silver one was the least viscous. So it flowed a lot smoother, or faster, I should say, not smoother, than the other ones. All right, so all I did was swirl them one time, kind of like in a little spiral. We're going to let these guys cure, and then we're going to kind of go on to the part where you guys missed off of the last part of the video. So, what I'm doing now is, damn it, I am going the second. I'm never going to get to this point with a third one. That's just all there is to it. I told you, it's just been one of those kind of weeks. All right, so we're going to do the M again. The same thing you've seen 3 different times. Now we are going to move on to the next step. Okay. Put in some more of the ISTOYO clear UV resin. Then I have these little rocks, and I think they're tourmaline, if I'm saying that correctly. The way this week is going, probably not. It's whatever. And my video froze, so I can't see what I'm doing, but I'm pretty sure I'm adding it into there, but I guess I'm going to have to stop recording for a minute so that my video can catch up with itself. Oh, here we go. Okay. Added the rocks, kind of mixed them in there, added a little bit of my silver glass glitter to it, and I'm going in with the same color with alcohol ink. Again, just adding it a little bit throughout the rocks and the glass and all of that good stuff. Pop it in, 2 minutes. Now it's time to do the same thing for the M. And I'm just kind of following it along and adding it pretty much to the bottom of the letters. And I'm trying to make sure that the rocks that I'm picking aren't like super crazy huge rocks, so that, yes, I'm still going to do a top coat because it's still probably not going to cover it completely, but I don't want to have to do like 15 top coats. You know what I mean? Just to get a smooth finish. Mixing it in a little bit, add that last little bit of color here up in a second. After I add more resin, eventually I'll get caught up with myself. All right, here we go with the color. Again, this is just to kind of add a little bit more depth to the piece where you can see the color build on top of itself. And we're going to pop this in and cure it. Okay, now I'm going to do the top coats for these last couple pieces, put them up there. And then maybe we'll get started on, or not really get started, because we already started on the, yep, on the keychain mold. That's it. Yeah, okay. So now I'm just gonna take one of my acrylic markers and I'm just gonna write in his information on there, and then we're gonna seal it with a top coat of resin. Now, I will say, when I use UV resin, I don't like doing big things like this. I like it for smaller type deals, not this. Like this took up this keychain mold. They're pretty big. That's probably about 2 inches or so. And it took up a lot of resin. And I feel like when you do that much resin, then you put it under your heat. And if you don't have a way to control the wattage on that, you get a lot of shrinkage, you get a lot of pulling away from the mold, and it can like warp your piece and you can get weird stuff going on with it. The only thing that like I don't have is I don't like this Let's Resin UV light is fantastic. I love it. It will cure anything, but you can't control the wattage on it. So, UV resin is going to do what it does. But anyway, it's just, in my opinion, it's just too much for UV resin. But that's just me. I'd rather go epoxy, the 2-part, and that's just my personal preference on that. All right, so here is where I am trying to figure out how I want to lay this out. And then guess what happens, guys? I'll give you one big guess. Yep, this part you weren't supposed to see. You're supposed to see the next, but I got it backwards again. So, yeah, there's that. Anyway, that's a wrap on this one, guys. I apologize. But like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And I will catch you on Saturday in the next one. Love ya. Bye.
In the studio, light shining, colors flowing, you're designing, pouring love into your resin, each piece a perfect lesson. Glitters dance in liquid streams, crafting hearts from fading dreams. Molds are set, creativity's call. You